From out of the West comes Red Ryder, America's famous fighting cowboy.
Caught that pony, Little Beaver. We're heading straight across the plains to Dobie-town, and there's plenty of trouble ahead.
You betcha, Red Ryder. Get along. Get him up. Get!
Get going, Thunder. Hit that trail. Come on, Thunder!
The Adventures of Red Ryder. Red Ryder and Little Beaver are riding hard across the sunburned prairie, heading for Dobie-town, because Red has heard that Ace Hanlon, gun lord of the plains, has been seen making tracks for the frontier town himself, not more than 48 hours ago. As they ride up the slope of a rocky barranca and look down onto the range, Little Beaver suddenly reins up his pony and points toward a distant water hole.
Red Ryder, look him down there by water hole.
Where, Little Beaver? Where do you see a water... Well, I'll be blamed. How can you see that far? Are those men down there?
Sure shooting them men. They do 'em something to water, too.
They sure are. Looks to me like they're pouring something into that water hole. Little Beaver, unless I miss my guess, those Jaspers are trying to poison every head of cattle on this range.
We ride 'em off, huh, Red Ryder? We chase 'em away.
Doggone tootin' right, Little Beaver. If they're aiming to kick up trouble, I'm aiming to see that they get it. Let's ride.
Get 'em up, Papoose.
Come on, Thunder. Ride 'em down, Thunder.
You don't think a little can of poison to do the job.
They said to be mighty sure, Lobo.
Yeah, supposing you let me worry about Ace Hanlon. Now, you put the top back on that can. Who's that? Who's that coming over yonder?
Huh? Well, up there, Lobo. Over the ridge. Big fella with a red shirt and an Injun kid.
Red Ryder. Grab that horse of yours, Vince, quick. I'm going to get myself a nice picture of that red-haired gent from a gun sight and blow him clean out of here.
Lobo, mount up. Don't try shooting it out with an hombre like Ryder.
I've been waiting for a chance like this for 5 years now. Shot the gun right out of my hand. Vince, come on. Let's get out of here.
Come on.
Hold it, Little Beaver.
We don't go catch 'em, Red Ryder.
No sense going any further, Little Beaver. We'd lose them anyhow on those rocks. And what damage they've done has been done already.
Here, look 'em. Canned medicine. Smell 'em powerful bad.
Here, hand me that can, Little Beaver. Yeah, the coyotes. It's poison, all right. Hope the cattle didn't drink any of that water.
Maybe we saved 'em just in time, Red Ryder. See over there. Big herd cattle heading this way. Maybe come for water.
Best thing we can do is ride over and head them off. Say, it looks like some punches with them.
We ride 'em. Get 'em up, Papoose.
Come on, Thunder.
What's them yells over there, Brad?
I see you, Mr. Jason. Hey, who's that coming? Yonder, just the other side of the mesquite.
Carrying some sort of a can. We better be training up. Hold on, stranger.
Howdy, mister. Those your cattle?
You're dead claimed right, them's my cattle. I suppose you explain what you got in that can you're carrying.
That's what I rode over here about. We saw some Jaspers poisoning the water hole.
That talk's mighty easy, mister. But if you run them off, why are you carrying the poison?
Didn't expect me to leave it there for someone else to use, did you?
That's exactly what I'm going to find out. And meanwhile, just keep your hand away from your holster, mister.
Why, sure.
I'm doing the talking. Red, round up the other hands. Unless this fellow's got a better excuse why he's packing poison, we're going to have us a little burying party.
Now, just a minute.
I said shut up.
If you're talking about burying me, I think I'm entitled to say something.
Well, out with it.
You seem plumb upset. Now, what's the matter? Somebody been poisoning your beef?
I'm not the only one. Almost every rancher using this lower range has had steers falling over like flies.
You make a big mistake. Red Ryder just run 'em off men who poison water holes.
Did you say Red Ryder?
Yeah, that's what folks call me. But I haven't the honor of knowing your name.
Well, tan my hide and call me Buckskin. I must be just plain loco. I should have known who you was. Never seen you around Dobie Valley, but we sure heard enough about you to know anybody looking like you do must be Red Ryder.
You know, many's the time I wished I had just ordinary hair. But this carrot top seems to have come in mighty handy this time. Mind telling me if you got any ideas what's been happening?
If you mean who's been poisoning the water holes, and me or nobody else knows. All we know is practically every rancher in the valley's in debt to Dan Parker. Now, Parker owns a general store in Dobie-town.
Oh, I see. You mean that Parker might be behind it?
No, sirree, that's just what I don't mean. We all been trading with Dan Parker for years now. He carries us on his books until shipping time. Then, each year, after we sell off our beef, we settle our accounts.
I see. You mean this year, with your beef being poisoned, you're not going to be able to pay Parker what you owe him?
That's about the way it looks, Ryder.
Supposing I ride into town and talk to Parker. Think that might do any good?
May not do any good, but it sure won't do any harm. You know how it is. Man hates to talk poor mouth to an old friend.
If that's the case, I'll leave this can with you and I'll be riding. All right, shake up that pony of yours, little beaver. We got a job to do.
We do 'em too, Red Ryder. Get 'em up, Papoose. Get!
Come on, Thunder.
Well, I find Ace Hanlon, waiter.
Hanlon? At that table back in the corner.
Thanks, I see him. Howdy, Ace.
Hello, Lobo. Sit down.
Thanks.
You get your job done?
Most of it.
What do you mean, most of it?
Well, we were just finishing the last hole on Jim Chase's North 40 when an old friend of yours paid us a call.
What are you driving at?
I mean, Red Ryder spotted us and run us off.
Ryder? Well, this is going to be even better than I'd hoped for. I'm not only going to end up owning every ranch in this valley, but I'm going to get rid of Mr. Ryder at the same time.
Well, look, Ace, you hired me for one job. If you want to take care of Red Ryder, that's up to you. I don't want any part of that, Jasper.
By the time I get through him, there won't be any part left for anyone else. And as for them ranchers, when they learn they haven't got enough cattle left to pay Dan Parker what they owe him, they're going to find that Ace Hanlon's bought out Parker's store, and it's him they owe.
Well, you were crazy. Parker will never sell.
No, Parker will never sell. But his widow will.
Widow?
That's what I said. Now, I want you to go over to Parker's store and talk him into an argument. Understand? Poor fella's got a hasty temper. And when he goes for his gun, I'm depending on you to outdraw him.
Hanlon, I gotta hand it to you. You got brains and you know what to do with them. If Parker goes for his gun first, it's going to be just too bad. Because everybody knows any man can shoot to kill in self-defense.
If Red Ryder's sticking his nose into this, you better be getting over to Parker's store now. I like my gunning done one at a time.
No need for you to stay here at the store, Mary. Business is about over for the day.
Well, I was just dusting off the shelves, Dan. That calico picks up every bit of dirt.
Well, guess it was wrong. Here comes another customer. Afternoon, mister. What can I do for you?
Your name Dan Parker?
Why, yes.
I want a pound of sugar.
Yes, sir. Right here.
I said I wanted a pound.
Sure, I heard you. This is a pound sack.
Are you aiming to call me a liar?
Now, look here, mister. I didn't ask you to come into my store.
But I come in, and I'm not going to have a thieving crook like you try to give me a half pound and call it a pound.
Get out of here. Clean out of my place before I...
Before you what?
I'm giving you 3 to vamoose.
Oh, Dan, don't.
Look, you thieving old sidewinder, nobody's putting me out of no place.
Stephen Old, I'll show you.
Dan! Oh, Dan!
Hold it, you.
Get away from that door.
Who did that shooting here, ma'am?
This man, he killed my husband.
If I were you, stranger, I'd leave my right hand just where it is. All right, you watch the door, little beaver.
You betcha, Red Ryder.
Now, look, before you get mixed up in something that ain't no concern of yours, Parker went for his gun first. I only shot in self-defense.
Is that true, ma'am?
Yes. Oh, I tried to stop my husband. I knew this man came in to force him into a fight. But Dan drew first.
Well, now are you satisfied?
I can't say that I am satisfied, because I know you and your kind. But someday, and it's going to be someday soon, it's you who's going to catch hot lead in self-defense. Now get out of here.
Oh, Dan. Dan, why did you do it?
Ma'am, I'm sure sorry I didn't get here 2 seconds early. I know saying how sorry I am won't bring your husband back, but there are other ways of squaring up accounts, and you can count on me for my help.
Oh, you're being very kind, but there's nothing you can do now.
There's a lot I can do, ma'am, and I'm going to tear this town apart, board by board, until I find the coyote I'm hunting for, because I'm sure there's a certain snake behind all this, and his name is Ace Hanlon.
What'll be, Ace?
Another round of the same. I got good cause for celebrating.
I figured you had, Ace.
Well, if it ain't my old friend Red Ryder.
If I didn't have something else on my mind, Ace, I'd see that you apologize for calling me a friend of yours.
Yeah, asking for an apology and getting one are two different things, Ryder.
I generally get what I ask for, Ace. You ought to know that.
Maybe that's because you're always asking the wrong people.
Maybe. But it might be because you've always managed to deal yourself out every time I've called.
I don't know. Seems every time I've asked for a showdown, you're the one who didn't draw.
Well, I'm putting all my chips on the table now, Ace. And if you're wanting to ask for a draw, I'm ready to fill my hand.
Yeah, trouble with you is that deck you're talking about may be full of jokers.
Maybe I better make myself clear. Dan Parker was just shot down in cold blood. And I thought you'd be interested in knowing I was making it my business to find out why.
But I never had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Parker. But if he was a friend of yours, I can't say I'm exactly sorry.
You will be sorry, Ace. First time you or any of your gun hands try to finish what you started.
I told you this before, Ryder. You talk too much. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be enjoying myself.
Why, sure, Ace. Enjoy yourself while you can. But next time I see you, you'd better fill your hand for sure, because I'll be looking at you over the barrel of a .44.
We return to the adventures of Red Ryder in just a moment. As we rejoin Red Ryder and Little Beaver in Adventure in Dobie Town, we find Ace Hanlon just entering Parker's General Store. The store now run by Dan Parker's widow, since Hanlon's gunslinger Lobo has killed the local merchant.
Good morning. Is there something I can do for you?
I reckon you're Mrs. Parker.
That's right.
Hanlon's the name, Mrs. Parker. Sort of a stranger over here in Dobie Town, but I'm aiming at settling. Figured maybe you and me could talk a little business.
A little business?
Some of the boys at the hotel told me about the misfortune you had yesterday. I mean about your husband.
Well, it's mighty kind of you, a stranger, to come over to pay your sympathies.
I want you to believe me, Mrs. Parker. Sympathy is just what made me drop in today. You see, I got thinking about how difficult it might be for a woman like you to try to run a store alone.
Yes, I'm afraid it really takes a man to run a business.
Exactly. Now, I come down here looking for a business to go into myself, and I thought with you probably wanting to sell and me wanting to buy, perhaps we could deal.
Well, I wasn't thinking of selling out, Mr. Hanlon.
Yes, well, I know this may be kind of sudden, but I'm willing to pay a fair price. All cash. Say $2,000.
$2,000? Why, not counting our stock, we've got more than $15,000 owed us on the books.
From what I hear, Mrs. Parker, that $15,000 isn't worth the ink it took to write it. They tell me the ranchers hereabouts in Dobie Valley lost most of their cattle from bad water.
I'm not worrying about the ranchers. My husband carried them through other bad years, and I reckon I can manage to get by somehow.
Well, I don't aim to argue with a woman, Miss Parker, but I'm a fair man, and when my mind's made up, I don't generally let anyone change it.
Now, you listen to me.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Parker, but it's you who's going to do the listening. Here's $3,000 in cash. So supposing you sit down and start writing out a bill of sale.
If I were a man, I'd blow you through that door with more gun smoke than you could swallow.
Yeah, but seeing as you're not, and seeing as I've got the cash here on the counter and I'm aiming to spend it, get out your paper and start writing.
Just a minute.
Ryder.
Seeing that Ace came here to spend his money, supposing you accommodate him, Mrs. Parker.
What are you doing here?
Drop that gun, Ace.
Why, shoot.
That's better. And next time, maybe you'd better wait to go for your gun like you usually do, when my back's turned.
Oh, Mr. Ryder, I'm so glad you walked in when you did.
I didn't exactly walk in. I was passing by, smelled something bad, looked in, and sure enough, Hanlon was in here.
I've told you before, Ryder, you talk too much.
Supposing you pick up Mr. Hanlon's gun, Little Beaver. It's a mite too handy laying there on the floor.
Me pick 'em for sure, Red Ryder. Maybe me use 'em.
I don't think that'll be necessary, because men like Ace would rather wait till they're hiding behind a rock and dry gulch a man.
Will you see that he gets out of here, Mr. Ryder?
If you don't mind, Mrs. Parker, not just yet. Now, like I said, when a man's got that much cash to spend, a smart merchant ought to accommodate him.
Maybe you know what you're talking about, but I don't.
I just figured since Mrs. Parker hasn't done much cash business this year, maybe I'd help you spend $200-300 here, since you're so all-fired raring to buy something.
Oh, I don't want any of his money, Mr. Ryder.
Who said it was his money? I'd hate to think just where it came from. Get a couple of those picks and shovels over there, Little Beaver, and load them into Mr. Hanlon's arms.
You betcha, Red Ryder. Him gonna be heap good customer.
Now, what do I want with picks and shovels?
Why, I heard talk around that you're fixing to dig your own grave. Now stretch your arms out.
You got nice armful. You betcha, Mr. Hanlon.
Ryder, you're going to pay for this.
Wrong again, Ace. You're going to pay for this. Now, that'll be exactly $40. Now, how about some of that calico, Mrs. Parker?
Oh, what color do you want, Mr. Ryder?
Now, let's see, about $80 worth of that pretty yellow. Yeah, that should be mighty becoming to you, Ace. Yellow is your color.
And by the time I get through with you, Ryder, the laugh will be on the other side of your face.
Why, you just don't appreciate a bargain. That's the prettiest calico stolen money could buy. All right, load it on top of those picks and shovels, Little Beaver.
Me load 'em all right.
You know, it's too bad your arms are so full now, Hanlon. With all the money you've still got left and knowing what you're going to be needing soon, I sure would like to sell you a nice $500 headstone complete with inscription.
Maybe it's a good thing they got headstones in stock, because I got a sneaking idea they'll be buying one for you.
A sneaking idea is about the only kind you ever have, isn't it, Ace? Now, supposing you take your purchases and mosey along. If there's anything else I think of that you may need, I'll be glad to deliver it personally. Little Beaver, open the door for the gentleman, and as he goes out, be sure you get one of those $100 bills.
That $100 is only a down payment, Ryder. Before I'm through with you, you're going to be paid in full.
That's our deal, Ace. And whenever you feel you can pay in full, you'll be ready, and you'll find that I'll give you a receipt.
I open door, Mr. Hanlon. Goodbye. You come again.
Oh, Mr. Ryder, I don't know how to thank you.
No thanks are necessary. Besides, the time for thanks hasn't come yet.
What do you mean?
I mean, Hanlon's found out all the ranchers in Dobie Valley owe you money, and he's decided to cripple them, force you to sell out to him, and then attach all of their ranches for what they owe.
Oh, how terrible.
Then why you no get him Hanlon, Red Ryder?
Because he isn't the kind to put his neck out. Hanlon always has some gunmen to do his dirty work, and until we get his gunmen red-handed, this game isn't over.
Well, that certainly makes sense, but I don't see what we can do about it.
What we've got to do is force Hanlon's hand, to figure some way to make him turn those gun hands loose in something crooked, where we can catch him and put him behind bars.
Maybe so, Red Ryder. But you all the time tell me Ace Hanlon, him plenty smart.
There's only one thing to do with a man who's plenty smart, Little Beaver. Play your cards so he'll outsmart himself. Mrs. Parker, I've an idea that may work. And the only thing I need is for you to tell me that you'll give me a free rein.
Oh, anything, Mr. Ryder, anything you say.
Then come on, Little Beaver. You've got to round up the ranchers and get them in here to Mrs. Parker's store before it's too late. Quiet. Quiet, everybody.
Suppose you stop acting as if you're running this whole show, Ryder, and let Mrs. Parker do her own talking.
I've turned everything over to Red Ryder. He's taken over my business, and you'll have to do what he says.
Now, there's no sense if you're grumbling, because it's not going to do you any good.
Business is business, and that means cash on the barrelhead. Just because Mrs. Parker's husband was soft-hearted enough to let all you ranchers owe him thousands of dollars is no reason to think you can get away with it from now on.
I should have strung you up the other day when I had you.
Maybe you should. But I'm in the saddle now, and I'm collecting every cent that's owed this store. I'm giving you exactly 5 days to come in and pay dollar for dollar what you owe. Or, by ginger, we'll attach every ranch in Dobie Valley.
Well, how do you expect us to raise any money in 5 days?
Sell your cattle, that's how.
You dirty crook taking advantage of us when you know our cattle's been dying off like flies.
Instead of standing here and calling me names, if you'd all get together and start a drive up to the railhead, you'd be back here in time to pay your honest debts.
What are you going to pay them?
Now go on. I've wasted all the time I'm going to waste talking to you.
Ace, did you hear what happened?
No, what happened, Lobo?
That mealy-mouthed Red Rider, that's what's happened.
Well, what's he up to now?
Plenty. All that fine talk he was putting up yesterday about protecting that old lady was just so much molasses. Reason he run you out of that store was he took it over himself.
Himself? Why, you're crazy.
Crazy nothing. I just come from across the street. He had every rancher that owes Mrs. Parker $1 over there, and he laid it on with a whip.
What?
He told them unless they paid every cent they owed inside of 5 days that he was taking over every ranch in the valley.
Why, that low-down, sneaking horse thief. I always knowed there was a crooked streak someplace in Red Rider. But how does he reckon they're going to raise the money to pay off?
He told them to take what cattle they got left, join up in one big drive, and sell it off.
Well... Isn't that just wonderful?
What do you mean?
I mean, Ryder's a bigger fool than I ever thought he was.
Ryder, a fool?
Right. He's just playing straight into my hands.
Sure. Walking right in and taking your deal out from under you.
Don't you see what this means? When them ranchers get out on the trail, you're going to run off their cattle. Then when Ryder butts in and tries to attach those ranches, them cattlemen are going to get awful sore. Sore enough to shoot.
Oh.
And when the shooting starts, you better make mighty sure the only way Red Rider gets out of there is feet first.
Ace, you know more angles than Sawtooth Canyon.
Never mind the backslapping. Get out and round up 10 of the best gun hands in the country and raid that cattle drive. This is one time Ryder's walking his neck right into a noose.
Oh, Thunder. Oh, boy.
You see him cattle drive, Red Rider?
This is one time my eyes are as good as yours, Little Beaver.
You think so? You see 10 riders hide him in cottonwoods?
Doggone you, Little Beaver. Every time I think I've seen something you don't see, you pull a surprise right out of the saddlebag. Where are they?
You see him little clump tumbleweed?
Uh-huh.
Maybe 10, 20 yards toward right. See him now?
By George, I sure do. Do you recognize the leader of the gang?
Me know him. Him same man come and store and shoot a Mr. Parker.
Lobo. Then my little trick did work.
Lucky thing for you, work him. No work him. Maybe ranchers get awful mad at Red Rider.
You're not fooling about that, Little Beaver. I got those ranchers so dad-blame sore yesterday, I was afraid they'd start shooting right there in the street.
Look at Red Rider. Over by Buttes. Right of Sheriff's posse.
Good, they didn't get here any too soon. Because if you look at the cottonwoods, you'll see Lobo starting the raid.
We better ride him and tell him, Sheriff.
You better fly him and tell him, Sheriff. The way things are going, we may be too late.
Get him up, Papoose. Get him.
Thunder, we've got to move fast. Come on, Thunder.
Smokey, get them steers away from that canyon. I'm going back and get myself a few more ranchers.
Oh, no, you're not. Red Rider. This is one time you're not getting away, Lobo, because I'm going to drag you out of that saddle. Kick out with your spurs, will you? That'll take care of you.
You all right, Ryder?
I think so, Sheriff. Just a little mussed up. But I got Lobo, the leader of the gang.
Yeah, good going, son. That scheme of yours sure worked out.
You catch him, everybody, Red Rider?
I don't know, Little Beaver. Was Ace handling with any of those men you rounded up, Sheriff?
Never saw a hide and a hair of handling.
Well, it looks as if my idea didn't work out as well as I'd hoped.
Lem! Steve! Round up these gunslingers and get them back to town. You ride back with me, Red. Ranchers and Mrs. Parker will be kind of anxious to thank you for all you done.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, but I'll have to disappoint them. While Hannon is still loose, I've got to keep riding. Are you ready, little beaver?
Me all ready, Red Rider.
Then let's ride.
Get him up, Papoose.
Ride 'em, boy. Come on, thunder!
Red Rider and Little Beaver, through hard riding and quick thinking, have saved the ranchers around Dobie Town from losing their cattle and rangeland. But Ace Hanlon is still free and hoping to get his revenge. So join us next time when Red Rider and Little Beaver run up against Hanlon's desperate scheming and plotting over in the Bear Canyon territory.